just saw the dress move, man.
Are you kidding me?
Travis and Chad have been friends since childhood, and they've always shared an interest in the paranormal. After several ghost hunting trips, they decided to take their interest to the next level and formed the Greater Rockford Apparition and Ghost Group. Now they load up on candy and take the GRAGGmobile on trips all over the country to investigate the unknown. These are their stories. Mission Terror, the Grag Ventures.
Gragganites. As the summer of Grag comes to an end and fall approaches, we're here in Oregon, Illinois, a small town of a couple thousand people about 45 minutes out of Rockford, at Conover Square. This old piano factory turned mall is getting quite the famous reputation for being a local haunted site. So of course the Gragganites are here to investigate it.
Our investigation began with a beautiful sunset drive along the Rock River to Oregon, Illinois, a town of less than 4,000, about 30 miles away from our stomping grounds of Rockford, Illinois. Of course we needed to stop and get the Grag ghost hunting snack of choice, dots, and then we were on our way. Once we saw the Black Hawk statue watching over the river, we knew we had arrived. Oregon is a town with a lot of history, and that can be seen in the shape of one of the town's biggest and most historic buildings, Conover Square. This unique shopping village was originally a piano factory, but now houses local businesses. If you're ever in the area, stop in and have a cup of coffee, grab some freshly baked goods, and maybe buy some antiques or many of the other things that are available at the array of local businesses. Well, the Gragganites were in the area, so we decided to stop in and do what we do best: investigate Conover Square.
People have tons of different theories and explanations for the paranormal activity that they might encounter. People back in the day maybe said it had to do with the moon and the full moon, or their ancient ancestors talking to them. A lot of people have blamed electromagnetic activity or electricity running through buildings. Some people have even just blamed old buildings for being creaky and loud and making noises. Another theory that a lot of paranormal investigators have come up with is the presence of flowing water. And we're standing right here in front of the Rock River with Conover Square just right there. And you never know. The passage of all this water mixed with the history of this building, all the people that worked here and even the people that died here, it might be a way for their energy to manifest and show itself to us. It's just one explanation for why there might be paranormal activity. You make up your own mind about what ghosts are. The Grag team has investigated tons of different types of places, from garages to asylums to cemeteries to houses, but this has to be one of the biggest. It's a giant factory with tons of twists and turns. There's a good chance in the dark we could get lost, but we'll keep the investigation going no matter what. Now, as you can see, Conover Square is a huge old factory. They used to build pianos here. Now it's used for a mall. A lot of local shops, restaurants and things like that are in here, but it definitely still held on to its factory roots. And you can easily tell that it was one time a factory. It's very old now, it's very creepy, and we've got a lot of ground to cover. But it's getting dark and the GRAGG team's ready to investigate.
As the daylight faded and nighttime set in, the anticipation continued to build. But before we would tackle this building on our own, we got a tour from Mike Grasso, the head of Haunted Conover Square Ghost Tours and a local shop owner at Conover Square.
Now, on this part of the building, we have 3 stories, and we're on the first floor here. So there are obviously 2 above us. For the most part, the 3rd floor is unoccupied. There is some storage up there. So, like tonight, other than us, actually throughout the whole building, it's not likely we'll hear anybody, but especially from the 3rd floor. So if you do hear anything up there, it's not one of us. It won't be one of us doing it.
So the 3rd floor, is there a lot of action up there usually, or?
We haven't been up there a lot.
No.
We'll hear a lot coming from the 3rd floor, and we're not there. For example, about 3 weeks ago, we were up on the 2nd floor, just on the other side of that landing there, and we just finished walking up there, and we heard a crash come from the 3rd floor.
Oh, wow.
Like a boom, and a few seconds later, another boom, and there was a group of ladies, and a couple of them, clutched onto one another. They're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "That's what we hear sometimes." And then we started hearing a sound like a cart being pushed across the floor. Boom, 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 boom. Almost like somebody had 2 boxes, heavy boxes. They're boom, loading onto a cart. Boom, get the second one on, walk behind it, and start boom, 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 pushing across the wooden plank floor.
That's creepy.
So yeah,
There's no reason for anybody to be up there.
Absolutely not.
What are some historic points of the building? Like, when was it opened? And it was a piano factory at first, right?
Right. In the early 1890s, I'm still trying to establish exactly when it was built. I'm pretty sure that by about 1910, the building stands as it is today, at least the exterior of it. It manufactured pianos up until about 1969, 1970, shut down for a short time, reopened for a couple more years in a limited run, and by about 74, 75, they were done. In 78, then it would reopen as a mall. Wow. So we'll make a zip around this way. Like I said, the 2nd floor in the hallway areas, pretty lively.
Yeah.
Yeah, some nights you can just sort of feel the energy, and it just, I just hearing a weird noise. The air's making an odd noise. Well, I actually, before it was about 7 o'clock, I thought I heard something coming up from upstairs.
Wow, so it's already...
When I was in the store, yeah, and I went up.
Nice.
It's a good sign.
I took my recorder up, and I came back and listened, and there's nothing, but I figured, well, okay, we'll give it a try.
But kind of guy, right? We haven't had GRAGG tours with people that were total skeptics and not into it. And
oh, no.
Mike here, he's alone in the building, and he grabs his recorder and goes. That's what we're talking about. So, you fully believe that there is paranormal activity here?
I do.
What made you believe? What instance, how long ago? What happened that you were like, yep, there's definitely activity here?
Well, there's always part of me that wanted to believe.
Sure.
I
think that's part of it, definitely.
You get into an old building like this, 120 years old, you start hearing stories about this happened, that happened. Everybody has those stories. A lady came in and she said, "This place has ghosts, I said, "Oh, please, tell me why you believe that." And she had been down, actually the hallway we're going to go to next. She was waiting for a store to open, and she had walked down in a hallway where no other stores were open, and she could see a reflection behind her down the hallway from where she'd just come. And she saw a man sort of peek out down the hallway like, "Oh, there's somebody there," and pop back into the store. And she turned around, and of course all the doors were closed. Nobody was anywhere in the hallway. We've had a couple psychics come through.
Oh, yeah.
One in particular has been through many, many times. She just feels like this place is bustling with activity. Yeah, especially this spring when the water is really high.
Yeah.
We went into the basement one time and there was so much noise I was almost ready to call the police because I thought there was an intruder down there. And that could be part of the reason why this building has a lot of activity. The psychic also mentioned that this building, because it's so old, so large, kind of an icon, it's almost like a magnet drawing in the spiritual energy. You know, bringing these spirits into it. Sort of get that feeling down there. You know, it's that emotional attachment. I think that, and this building was the largest manufacturer and largest employer in the county for a long time. Plus, I've already started digging up some stories, just little snippets from newspapers where guys having accidents in here. You know, that, and on top of this land too. This land has such a huge history with the natives who have been in the area. I found a newspaper article less than a mile downstream. A Indian burial mound got washed out during the spring thaw, or in the floods, and these are bones all over the place. And also too, all of these, we have, you know, a handful of antique shops, the museum upstairs, all types of stuff you'll see in the basement. If there's any attachment to those things, I mean, we've got a whole lot of reasons.
Sure.
I mean, any one of which could be a valid reason why this place is haunted.
Really, in a way, this building is very much could be a perfect storm for reasons why there could be a presence
here. Now, down here is where we thought we heard the noises that night.
Wow. It is creepy.
Yeah.
It is very creepy down there.
When we leave this room, coming down the ramp, often the last person in line will feel something like a hand on their back. Oh. Not really pushing, but just like a guide kind of thing.
Leave Chad down here by himself.
Yeah, try to find your way back up. Now this back here is the only functioning freight elevator in the building. And it's possible that a repairman fell and died in this shaft. We've got a couple noises on EVPs here, but no voices yet.
Okay.
There's an electric room here. Some people are calling that the fear cage. There have been some folks who just feel really uncomfortable going in there. They don't want anything to do with the place.
Feelings of dread.
Yep. Yeah, like I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be coming in.
I'm sure we'll be terrified then. Oh, yeah. Chad, you're staying in the fear cage all night.
Yeah, usually the museum is the place where, you know, if I only had one place to go on an evening, I'd go to the museum. But the third floor is a hit and miss. Sometimes people feel just really uncomfortable, really creeped out. Shouldn't be up here. Somebody's behind me, somebody's watching me, I feel like somebody's trying to pull my arm, that kind of thing. But also, people get that feeling a lot in the museum. Now, just about anywhere on the second floor is a good place to set up. Yeah, we've had stuff happen all over the place. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The gates down there, some people say they've heard them shaking, and somebody took some pictures, said they caught a face through the gate. Like it's like a guy who's like trapped in there and wants to get out somehow. So yeah, this generally is a pretty neat spot, and sometimes it's the creep factor in here.
I'm a little creeped out as we're standing here, honestly. Of course, you're telling me ghost stories.
That helps. This is an antique mall here, and actually one of the fellows who's with us now used to be up here, and he rents a space in our store. He said he was in here one time, and there was like a doll in a crib, and it wasn't hanging over the edge; it was laying back in the crib, and it was between him and some teenagers who were walking by. The doll flipped out of the cage, or not the cage, the crib, flew out, hit the floor, and you know, he looked at the kids, and they looked at him. And they're like, "We didn't do it." He's like, "I know you didn't. I'm leaving. Bye." He was gone. The owner ran into that too. He's an engineer. He's had this building for 10 years. He knows the ins and outs of it. He's seen and heard everything. He cannot explain these crashes. He heard 6 or 8 of them one night. So that was sort of the impetus. That was the kickstart. These mysterious crashes, and nobody being able to explain where they were coming from. But
Drag my pants.
Here we go into the museum.
This is very spooky. It is very spooky.
Some nights you walk in here and you can you can just feel your breath being taken away.
Wow. This
I
is
just
terrifying
seen what we're
in
going
its entirety.
This crib.
Yeah.
Why is it that babies are so creepy?
The most harmless thing on this planet.
Well, there is a. There may be the spirit of a young girl up here. There's this young girl named Hannah, who was 7 years old, and she died at a hospital nearby and sort of found her way in here. Now, she likes to reportedly hang out on this little settee here.
Her name's Hannah?
Hannah. She likes when people say goodbye to her when they leave. This dress right here came here just about a year ago. And we believe there may be a lady attached to it.
Did you hear that?
We definitely heard a noise back there.
That was creepy.
I saw you whip around. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Get used to it.
happening.
There's people have described her as a school marmish type of lady, very tight, her hair pulled back. Not real nuts about too many people being up and around here. And at least two people have reported the apparition independently of each other, and both gave a pretty accurate description. It says that she kind of watches over Hannah. A lot of people say, though, they get creepy feelings in this room, the military room.
I'm so creeped out right now. Flat out.
They say there's a fellow upstairs, a former some type of naval officer, who is very protective of this area. There will be somebody saying, I'm uncomfortable to the point of being sick. I have to get out. And as they leave, they'll hear footsteps above them following them. We were doing an EVP session sitting here. There were 3 of us. And that one of the cabinets right along there, they're catching a reflection in the window from it. You know, just the light coming in. Well, once in a while it would block out. So when it ended, we got up and we're trying to replicate where would you have to stand to block the light out the way it was being blocked out. And the answer was right in between those 2 windows. Almost as if whoever it was didn't want to be seen, and they were hiding in between the windows.
Boy. Yeah.
And watching. But that's about it. Yeah, that's all.
That's all, yeah. All 120,000 square foot, like you said.
Yeah.
All right, Graggonites.
You ready to do this, man?
I'm ready. It's 11 o'clock and the investigation begins. We're not quite investigating yet. We're going to go set up all of our equipment, but we want the cameras rolling at all times. In this hallway, we're just going to set up the grab cam. It's a hallway full of old pianos. And Mike told us there was some activity up here, so we're just going to leave this camera running.
Mike explained earlier that there was some sort of presence that would be in between these 2 windows here. Did you want to maybe set up one of our, what do you call it, motion sensors over here?
Yeah, did you want to do that or in the museum?
Well, we got 2 of them.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Sure.
she's on. All right.
That's the sound we'll hear if something triggers the motion sensor throughout the building. So that's one of the motion sensors. We have another one, and we're going to set that up, we think, in the museum.
This is the number 2 sensor. So Travis will actually be holding number 1.
So if that goes off, we know that it's upstairs here on the 3rd floor. This is just like a giant floor. Mike said this building has over 120,000 square feet. He mentioned that sometimes there's movement up here, so we're going to set up our grid, our laser grid, and hopefully it picks something up.
And if something passes in front of this, it's nice, but we have extra, like squares that we can kind of tell how big the presence may be as well.
Measure the size
and we are recording on there.
Now we're going to head down to the basement and start our investigation there and then work our way up. Now, Mike did say during his tour that Hannah, well, the woman hangs out there by that dress. Hannah likes to hang out in this couch and this sort of area, so it might be a good place to put the other motion detector. Is that on? Is that the other one?
Yeah.
Is that the motion detector we just put upstairs?
Oh my God.
We just put the other motion detector upstairs on its own and turned it on. We were coming down here to set up the other one, but it's not on right now. So that means something upstairs in the middle of the night in a place that's closed to the public just moved and crossed up there.
Right where he said that spirit interacts with people.
Right where he said a spirit seems to linger. Do you want to go back up there, Chad, and check it out? Try and call it out? Do you want to...
I say we give it some time. Maybe it'll pass in front of our grid, too.
Okay, yeah.
It clearly waited for us to leave the room. So maybe it's not an interactive kind of spirit amongst people. So that was terrifying. At first, I was like...
It went off twice, too. Man.
I know.
That means that something passed in front of our motion sensor twice.
Or just stood in front of it.
Or just stood in front of it.
This one is number... You can clearly... I made mention that it was number 2. This is number 2. Number 2 went off.
And that's the one we just left upstairs.
This is number 1.
That was definitely
which Travis
the one. There's something setting that off up there, Chad. It's still going, man. There's something moving up there, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Do you want to go up there, Chad?
I think we gotta.
Let's go up there.
I think we gotta.
Let's go up there and try and interact with it or something.
Dude, it's flipping out.
Something is like hanging out up there. Yeah, man. Chad, look at me, man. It's going off. Chad, we've set this up in many other places, man. And it's never... We usually never get anything with this. We usually never get any movement with this. And it's going off, man. Something is up there.
That is so terrifying.
Do you want to go up there and try an EVP, or...
Yeah, let's go get an EVP real quick.
Down there, where those 2 windows are. In between those 2 windows is where our motion sensor is set up. We're up here, it's not making any noise, but when we were down just 1 floor below it, it was going off like crazy. And now it's completely stopped since we've come back up here.
We're rolling.
Is there a presence up here? What is your name? Can you pass through our sensor again? Do you want us to leave? I just don't understand why it would go off so many times and then now it's not doing anything. It's like something was right by it and then something left.
I'm getting chills, man, really bad.
Are you?
Yeah.
What are you feeling, man?
I don't know, man. I'm getting like really bad chills, though.
You have oh, man. Look at your goosebumps, dude.
I'm getting like really, really bad chills.
You think something's here?
Is there something around me right now?
How you feel, Chad? You still have chills, man?
I feel like it's going down now. Like I'm losing it. The museum's creepy, man.
Dude, museum is something else, man.
This is terrifying.
As you can see, this area is not open to the public. So, this is a drag team exclusive.
Oh man, this is so scary.
Over here to the left, Chad. This is the fear cage.
I think that's where we need to set it up at.
Now Chad's setting up our motion sensor camera, which will take pictures of anything that moves. This area back here referred to as the fear cage by Mike. He called it that because people feel just full-on feelings of dread and fear, and so many people have gotten almost sick to their stomachs that they get so creeped out back there.
While we were down in the basement, the GRAGGvision 3000 was upstairs recording the whole time. Now we caught a few strange things on tape and we'll replay them for you now. To the left, right by the piano, we catch a mysterious orb flash. Here's a replay. Minutes later, it seems like a shooting orb falls from the sky. This one's hard to see, but here's a replay. And then just a little bit later, we catch an orb float and then shoot away down by the floor. Here's another replay. Just a few strange things we caught on tape.
That's right. Alright, so we're getting out the classic Gragg tool, the Ovilus X. Always gives us something creepy. Well, not always. Maybe. It will catch EVPs in real time, and then using its multi-thousand word database, it will respond with whatever word it just picks up in the atmosphere.
A little later, we were walking through a first-floor hallway and the glass creaked at us. The Ovilus was still running and gave us an eerie response.
Sometimes it just feels like there's nothing. It just feels like it's empty, but then it'll just pick up out of nowhere. Oof, that's creepy. Okay. We just walked by this glass, and it creaked and made a noise.
Immediately afterwards, it said glass.
And it was like I reacted. Like I walked by the glass and it made a noise, and I went, "Ooh, that was creepy." And then as soon as I said that, it said glass, as if it knew what had happened. Music.
You like music?
Well, we are in a piano factory.
What's the date today?
Today is September 1st, Chad. And the Ovilus just told us music. We are in a piano factory. And it also said the word September. Today is the first day of September. Anything else? Can you tell us anything else about... Did you hear that?
What was that?
Does that sound like...
Did you hear that?
Does that sound like a door or a loud footstep or something? We heading upstairs?
Yeah. I think that's where we're going to get the bulk of our stuff at.
I think so, for sure. What was that noise we heard when we were down here?
Man, I don't know.
That was loud.
I feel like we need to make something happen right now.
You just want to start talking to him, man? You want to run a test? What do you want to do?
Did you knock against the wall?
No. Did you hear a knocking?
Yeah.
Where from?
Like right here. Did you knock against the wall?
Can you do it again? Try asking some questions.
Can you shine the light around here real quick?
What's wrong with it?
I don't know, man. I was kind of looking in here because I feel like there's something in there that kind of looks like a person standing. So I was like, my eyes were peeled on it, and then Trav guys, I felt something touch against my neck.
Like what?
Like something touched me on my neck right here. That's why I wanted you to shine the light to see if there was like a bug that hit me or something. Did someone just touch me? I felt something on my neck, and I know it wasn't my mind. Because like I felt like it was cold, man. Like it was cold, like a drip of sweat. So I touched my neck, like right here, to make sure there wasn't anything like wet, like a drop or something, and there wasn't. Dude, I'm so creeped out right now.
Maybe it's reacting.
I don't think it's my mind playing tricks on me either. Like, I felt something brush against my neck. And it sucks because there's no way for me to like prove that happened, but I felt it.
Is there something in here? We need a real sign. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
What did it sound like to you?
It sounded like something scurried.
Yeah.
Is that you, Hannah?
Hannah, are you in here?
Oh shit.
What, man?
I don't know, man. I thought I saw something crawling. I thought I saw something crawling towards us. Towards us. I don't know, man. I feel more like dread than I ever have in this place right now. Is there a presence in this room? And if so, did it touch my neck?
I just saw the dress move, man.
Are you kidding me?
Like, it was subtle. I've been staring at it though for like the last minute, man. And every now and then it just seems, I don't know if there's an airflow or something, man, but it just kind of like swayed just a little bit.
Did you move the dress? Did someone move the dress? Okay. Such a quiet place, man.
I can't get over staring at that dress, man. I feel like I saw it move, man. I'm almost certain of it. Another drag investigation. In the books. Alright, Greg and Ice, it's after 1 a.m. The Greg team is tired. We just put in a thorough investigation of this 120,000 square foot building. Had some creepy things happening, and I think it's safe to say there's definitely some paranormal activity happening in this building. It seems to be the perfect storm of paranormal activity, with the river, the burial grounds, all the people that worked here, all the people whose lives were affected by this major building in the community. So, definitely a hot spot. Greg team looks forward to coming back and investigating it again.
For more information on Conover Square and the ghosts that live there, or for the opportunity to take a haunted tour of the building yourself, visit facebook.com/ConoverGhosts or call the number provided. Tell them the Greg team sent you.
What if that started playing on its own?
Oh man.
I'd be gone.